What once was the premier standalone powerhouse travel credit card is now swimming in a sea filled with fierce competition. Having the largest annual fee in its class, combined with over a dozen credits and some of the worst earning potential in most categories, in this video we're going to determine, is the American Express Platinum now the worst travel credit card, or does it still reign supreme? We'll cover the top points of value with the Platinum and its competition, so stick around and find out. This is going to be a good one. And if you're in the market for any of these cards, you can find some of the top offers in the link tree down in the description. And let me know what card or cards you prefer, and if you've had any good or bad experiences lately. Now, for those that haven't seen any of my other videos, I talk extensively about the premium travel cards, and I'll link a playlist that can arm you with all the information you need to be a pro in no time. Now, I've used just about every one of these premium travel cards. I point stack, I use shopping portals and card-specific offers, all the things to maximize my dollar so that I can take my family on more trips. And I speak from experience. I don't just read the features and benefits. Now, you and I may perceive cards in a different light. We may extract value in different methods. We may place more value on certain things over others. But I think we all can agree, the biggest hook when you think about the brand and what most people actually relate these cards to, it's a power move. Being able to flash the card when you're paying for a big ticket item, and it's elevating the travel experience, specifically the branded airport lounges. Now, American Express set the standard for both of these. Being able to pay for a thing, get poor multipliers on that spend, and to feel good about it, and also to introduce us to these iconic branded airport lounges. They opened the first card-branded lounge over a dozen years ago, and they have the largest footprint of card-branded lounges today in the United States. Now, this American Express Global Lounge collection includes Centurion lounges, Escape lounges, Delta Sky Clubs, Lufthansa, Priority Pass, and Plaza Premium. But because of all this, more people are just aware of American Express and the AMEX Platinum. And because of that, more people have the Platinum card today, and they flock to these Centurion lounges. And for some reason, it appears more people with the Platinum, they just feel entitled. But in my opinion, even with this massive lounge network, American Express does not hold the top airport lounge access spot. Now, I've been to AMEX, Chase, and Capital One lounges over a dozen times each here in 2025, and I'll link a video to give you more justification as to why I feel this way. But with American Express, the Centurion lounges, they've expanded significantly, and they've promised to step up and elevate their dining experience, and hopefully ways to reduce crowds, even though I doubt that'll happen. They're rolling out concepts like the sidecars, with the first location coming to Vegas Harry Reid in 2026, which is also where the first Centurion lounge opened back in 2013. It appears these sidecar concepts will somewhat compete with the Capital One landings, not a dedicated lounge, more quick food plate options, speakeasy vibes, and a 90-minute time cap, but we'll see what these entail once they start to roll out. The Platinum also restricts guest access. Only the primary cardholder or any paid authorized users or any cardholders that spend over $75K a year on the Platinum, they can take 2 guests in with them. But there's definitely better methods to spend $75K. Now, compare this lounge access to the card that I firmly believe delivers the best airport lounge access, that being, you guessed it, the Ritz-Carlton card from Chase. This is better than any travel powerhouse card lounge access. It comes with the same lounge access in theory as the Chase Sapphire Reserve, but no limited guest policies, plus free authorized users. 2 things that the American Express Platinum cannot stack up with. So let's look at how the Ritz Airport Lounge Access compares to the Platinum. Well, first, unlimited Priority Pass select visits, which is the same as it is with the AMEX Platinum. And with Priority Pass, the Ritz, the Sapphire Reserve, and the AMEX Platinum all have similar guest policies. With the Platinum, it's 2 guests along with the primary cardholder. Sapphire Reserve is the same, but with the Ritz, they don't really define any guest limits. Second, and more importantly, the Ritz and the Sapphire Reserve both come with unlimited Chase Sapphire Lounge access. So with the Sapphire Reserve, the guest policy is the primary cardholder plus 2 guests complimentary. With the Ritz, there's no defined limit of the amount of guests that you can bring in. Now, in theory, you could say it's unlimited, but the lounges do have the right to cap you, so just keep that in mind. But to combat that, you also get free authorized users with the Ritz, which get that same lounge access, and they can bring in guests as well. So when I look at the strength of the lounge access with the Platinum card as it compares to the Ritz and the Sapphire Reserve, for people like me that take multiple family trips per year, I can bring my wife, 2 kids, or a coworker, or anyone else I'm traveling with into these lounges if I use my Ritz card. With the Platinum, I'm not spending $75K a year on this card, so I'm stuck either paying $50 for adult guest passes $30 per kid, finding a priority pass lounge, which these are mostly a joke in the United States, or using another card other than the Platinum. And I do want to point out the type of lounges and the location of these lounges that you're trying to access. That is a critical component here. Priority pass lounges are increasingly hit or miss. Some are great, definitely not in the US. The VIP lounge Punta Cana was really nice, great kids area, nice food and drink options, really clean aesthetic. They even had a pool overlooking the runway, which was pretty wild to see. But all of these cards get priority pass access. So then it's just a matter of Chase lounges versus Centurion lounges. So Amex definitely wins if you're looking just at the total number, 15 lounges in the US compared to 7 Chase Sapphire lounges at the moment. But Chase has Vegas, Dallas, and LAX all coming online soon. So again, you need to factor in which airports you fly in and out of and the location of these lounges. For me, I fly through New York a good bit where the Chase lounge is much better than the Centurion lounge at both JFK and LaGuardia. Same with Philly. The Chase Lounge absolutely blows away the tiny Centurion Lounge. There's a Chase Lounge coming to Dallas-Fort Worth. So again, it matters where you fly. Now, there's also the Venture X and the Capital One lounges, which honestly, these may be the most balanced experience right now. Great food, stylish design, consistent vibe. I've been to the JFK and Dallas-Fort Worth Capital One lounges recently and the Washington Reagan Capital One landing. These are just so nice. They have made-to-order bagel sandwiches at the JFK location, Spanish-style tapas food at the Washington Reagan Capital One landing, craft cocktails, just an awesome vibe overall. Okay, so when we take a step back, overall, the Platinum wins for the largest footprint, but to me, the Ritz-Carlton wins on quality and guest access policy. So in my opinion here, the Ritz wins on total airport lounge access. And that card has half the annual fee of the Platinum. But that's just one component. So along with the competition in the airport lounge space, the transfer partners of American Express's competitors have been elevated as well. Citi recently added American Airlines and is now the only U.S. bank to transfer out to American. Citi also has I Prefer Hotels at a 1-to-4 ratio. Capital One also added Japan Airlines, which was a huge addition, plus Qatar and I Prefer Hotels, but I Prefer only has a 1-to-2 ratio with Capital One, whereas it's 1-to-4 with Citi. But Capital One now has a really strong lineup, arguably as strong as American Express, just without the domestic names, but those aren't really of much value anyways, other than American Airlines and Alaska. And then there's Chase, which has many of the same airline transfer partners as American Express. Plus, Chase has by far the best hotel transfer partner in Hyatt. So these are all pretty even in my opinion. It's just a matter of which transfer partners you can use and what kind of value you can get for your points. And this is compared to cashing out your points or purchasing hotel and airline points or miles or buying flights or hotels direct. Now, speaking of buying things, the Platinum has one strength when it comes to earning multipliers, that being 5x for paid flights. But even though it earns the best in this category, it doesn't have the same level of trip delay and cancellation insurance as the Ritz-Carlton or the Chase Sapphire Reserve does. So even though the Sapphire Reserve only earns a point less for paid flights at 4x versus 5x, if you care about the flight-related protections, Chase may be the better option for you here. Or there's the Venture X that earns 2 points per dollar on all non-portal spend. Then there's the Citi Strata Elite lagging behind, earning 1.5 points per dollar on all spend, plus 3 to 6 points per dollar on dining, depending on when you dine out. Now, the portal earning is strong with all of these cards, so I'm not really mentioning that here. It's definitely not a reason to add any high annual fee credit card to your setup. Now, all of these ecosystems have card-specific offers. Now, with American Express, you can leverage Amex offers to earn better with the Platinum if the specific offers match your needs. Now, personally, I save $200 to $300 annually with Amex offers, but I wouldn't count on that. And all of this makes the Platinum a card that, for most people, it's only flashed when you're entering a Centurion lounge. As for the credits, the amount of credits on the Platinum, well, they're a bit extreme. For someone that doesn't use any of these premium cards today, it's a ton of work to extract value. And the Platinum definitely leads the way with 15 plus lifestyle and travel credits. It would take an entire video just to get through these, but the value is definitely there if you can use them. And it was brilliant on American Express's part. 600 in hotel credits, 400 in Resi Dining, 300 in Lululemon. The hotel credits are the largest of any general travel card. So if you think about it, basically these two $300 credits, it's like getting to 40,000 point free night search with a brand like Marriott, but with no limit to the price of the hotel. It just needs to be American Express's fine hotels and resorts or hotel collection properties with some stipulations on length of stay. So you can book a room that's around $300 a night, like the one that I booked here in Frankfurt, and the $300 credit will completely cover that room rate. Plus, with this credit, you can prepay for a reservation, like I did in September of 2025 for a stay that doesn't happen until May of 2026, and the credit from the second half of 2025 will apply. So come January of 2026, I'll have another $300 credit to use. And what this means is the stay does not have to be in that specific half of the year for that credit to apply. Also, the Resi credit is the largest dining credits of any card, $100 per quarter there. And I'm pretty sure the $300 Lululemon credits, broken down into $75 a quarter, is the largest retail credit of any card. Now, those three credits I just mentioned, those alone get you nearly 1.5 times the value of the annual fee, and there's a bunch of other credits as well. So American Express definitely added value with these recent additions, and then Chase tried to follow in the Platinum's footsteps, revamping the Sapphire Reserve over the summer, adding a ton of credits to offset that new $795 annual fee. Citi, on the other hand, did a lightweight version of this with the Strata Elite, even though this was a big miss in my opinion, considering I didn't even mention Citi when I talked about the airport lounge access earlier, since they don't have it. Now, Citi does have Priority Pass lounge access, I do want to mention that, and a select number of visits to Admirals Clubs, but they have no Citi branded lounges in the US. Capital One, again, has kept it simple, as the Venture X has a $300 travel credit, 10,000 bonus miles each year, great lounge access, and that's pretty much it. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Ritz here as well, $300 travel credit, hotel free night cert, 85,000 Marriott points, which should be at a minimum $400 to $500 in value, and that beautiful Primo lounge access. And you can transfer Marriott points out to many airlines, even though the transfer rates from Marriott in many cases don't really make sense. Some of them do, and at 3 Marriott points to 1 American Airlines mile ratio, thinking about the value of 60,000 Marriott points, typically that's somewhere around $400 to $500 in value, or at that 3-to-1 ratio, that would be 20,000 American Airlines miles, which to me, that has the potential to get $600 or more in value. I often get 3 to 4 cents per point on my American Airlines redemptions. So if you have any specific high-value American Airline redemptions in mind, that transfer could be worthwhile. Okay, so you can see here for the most part, it's simplicity versus complexity, but also the brand that you're associating with. If you want that simplicity to value, clearly the Venture X wins, but personally, I'm not in this just for simplicity. You also need to think about things like travel protections, where the Sapphire Reserve really blows away the AMEX Platinum card. Also, Chase has the best hotel transfer partner in Hyatt and the best lounge access policies overall, so you could say that the Sapphire Reserve or the Ritz wins here. But if you want complexity, with a ton of upside, a bunch of travel and lifestyle credits, the need to use spreadsheets, which is totally fine by me, and you don't need guest access to the airport lounges, at least in the US, well, then the American Express Platinum wins. So I'll leave that up to you to determine, is the Platinum no longer in the #1 spot, or do they still hold it down? Now, for a deeper look at these travel cards, check out this playlist here, or for an absolute hidden gem card if you're a homeowner, check this video out here, and I'll see you there. Cheers.